Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, it's me, Sandman Mystery Comics, and it's a time for another episode of Indies from the 80s. This is one of my favorites. It's a pulp hero, kind of a ripoff of the original Golden Age Sandman, but has a little more flair, a lot more cheesecake. And it took the two creators, the writer and the artist, 10 years to get 11 issues out. Okay. I mean, what do you expect with indies? It happens. That's the way it goes. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about a hero you guys probably never heard of, the Twilight Avenger. Okay, he's even got that Sandman vibe looking. He's got a gas gun. All his belts, the bandoleros and the belt, have extra gas canisters for him. And under that mask he's wearing, he's got a gas mask on. He's got his fedora. He's got his cape. And he's wearing the pilot pants, and the jack boots. Really neat little character. These were the first books ever published for the Twilight Avenger through a little known company out of Texas called Elite Comics. They didn't last very long. I think they lasted a year, 2 years, something. They published Twilight Avenger and another book, which is actually neat, that I'll probably talk about in the future once I can get my hands on the two issues they did. Sorry, that was an ambulance coming by. And that other title was called Sea Dragon. Now, one of the cool things they did, this was not like your typical 80s indie book. It wasn't a black and white done on the newsprint paper. Let me show you. Okay. So that made it worth the $1.75 price we paid for it, in my opinion. Okay. All right. Here we go. They got a nice, thicker cover. Look at that back. That is just awesome. Him in the night, man. The cape flowing. That's just good stuff. The artist's name is Terry Tidwell, by the way. But yeah, they did a thicker stock of paper here. It's not quite Baxter paper, but it's not the pulpy newsprint either. And the art really has that golden age pulpy feel to it. And yeah, just fun stuff. Really cool book. 1986, it was started. Elite did 2 issues of the Twilight Avenger, and then they folded. Now, the whole thing with the Twilight Avenger is the gas gun and the costume and all that was created by some scientist back in the 30s, late 30s, early 40s. And the scientist is not the one in the costume. He is a rough and tumble college football player. So he's big, he's buffed, he's tough. And the football player is dating his daughter and comes over one night and says, I need you to do this because these guys are after me for my stuff. They wanted nefarious stuff done so they could get more money and extort cities and towns, all that stuff. Stuff gangsters do. And so he donned the costume and became a hero. And he took a beating, And then there's the second issue. Really fun stuff. Fighting rabid dogs. Look at that. Just all the dogs and the attention to detail. And he didn't hurt them. He would grab them and toss them, and maybe punch or kick them, but mainly put them to sleep with the gas gun. Yeah, unfortunately, I wish Elite kept going because I liked that they did full color independent comics, but they crashed. Okay. And then we didn't hear from Tidwell and the writer, John Woolley, for another year. And until they landed over at Eternity Comics in 1987. And they did 8 issues over there with various adventures. And, I mean, like, issue 1 here, look at that. He's fighting zombies, man. It's like got that Night of the Living Dead vibe going on. Very cool, fun stuff, you know? Number 2, in a cave. Yeah, he's got a big, blinding headlight beam on his chest there, as you can see. And, yeah, he's fighting giant bats in a cave. I mean, really fun, pulpy adventures. And these, of course, Eternity is infamous for black and white books. You know, but still fun, great stuff. Here we go. Damsel in distress on a racing speed, a speeding train. Typical 40s or serial cliffhanger pulpy stuff. He's about to get stabbed in the back by some psychopath, some evil, crazy guy in a haunted house. Gives you those This Old House kind of vibes. If you ever seen the movie This Old House, one of the original whodunit murder mystery serial killer things, but with a fun twist. And that's the cool thing about this series. No matter the seriousness of stuff like zombies wanting to eat you or House of Horrors or serial killer, there's always a fun twist to it, a little bit of comedy, so it doesn't take itself too seriously, you know? Here, someone steals the garb and becomes an evil version of the Twilight Avenger, trying to ruin his name and reputation in his town. And it's an all-out battle between the two. Number 6. And you can see we're getting the cheesecake there now. Number 7, I forget what this one is about, but it's just a great cover. There he is on a dark and stormy night with the lightning flashing in the back, riding a horse, and his light beam, beaming brightly. That's just a great, epic cover, man. And then the last issue, because Eternity only did it for 8 issues. Here we go. You got more cheesecake. Mob gals with machine guns. Tommy guns, man. Yep. All right. And then I think that last issue was 1988. And then we didn't hear from the team again for about 8 years. Something, I guess, happened. There was, I think, a falling out between the two of them. But then here in 1996, they got back together to do a big, it's like a 48 or page book called the Twilight Avenger Special. It is in black and white. You can see there he goes with more cheesecake. And it's put out by some company called Miracle Comics. Never heard of them. And this is the only book from them I've ever seen. And it's got 2 Twilight Avenger stories in it. And one introducing some new character. It's a short story. Let me see. 2, 4, 6-page story introducing some character, very 90s looking there, something you'd see at Image, called Major Miracle in Ironclad Victory. Okay. I highly suggest you guys try to hunt this book down, the whole run, if you're into Golden Age heroes, pulp heroes, and just campy good fun. All right. You can find them dirt cheap dollar bins, man. This kind of stuff you find in dollar bins, heck, if quarter bins exist in your area, you could probably find all 11 issues in your quarter bins. You probably can. They're a fun read. Okay. And if you're like me and you harken back for those good old days, you know, where every man always wore a suit and a fedora, and women were always elegant, pinup quality without being sleazy, and being able to know who the bad guys and good guys are, and good always winning even though they get into harrowing stuff. It's just a fun read, and comedic situations too, guys. I cannot recommend this series enough. There was a few years back on Indiegogo, they were doing a fundraiser to publish an actual pulp novel with 4 stories and a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff. And the people who backed it, the more money they made, the levels were get design sketches of when they originally created the character. And if they raised enough movie, they were going to make a pulp cliffhanger serial. The reason I didn't support it is I don't support anything on Indiegogo, because there's no protection on Indiegogo. At least with Kickstarter, if it falls through and you don't get your stuff, you can go to them. And you're usually, if the people just go AWOL on you, you can at least get your money back. That's happened with me. The only person I support on Kickstarter, though, on a regular basis, if it's something I really like, is Ben Dunn. You know, Ben Dunn of Ninja High School, Captain Harlock, Gigantor, all those books. Okay. Only one I support, because he always gets his stuff out and he always meets his goal within the first week of doing his 30-day Kickstarter, you know, and then everything else is gravy and we get all the cool stuff that we want, you know, the stretch goals. That's it for now, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube land and the YouTube comic book community. If you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Doesn't cost you nothing, but it really helps the algorithm. Okay. Also, if you have friends who you think would like the content I do, share my video with them, you know, and have them subscribe. Share my channel with people. Subscribe. We already hit our 100 subscriber goal. We're up to 106 now. Woo! Yeah. I feel like the old man in those old Six Flags Magic Mountain commercials, you know, and start doing the crazy dance. So that'll be happening this Saturday. Be giving away a bunch of fun stuff, and it'll be live, and we'll just have a talk and laugh, and we'll have coffee, we'll talk, okay? And give away stuff. It'll be fun. And that's it. Thanks a lot. God bless each and every one of you. And you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Don't forget to check Mad Spidey's live show coming up, all right? Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.